anybody's wondering, I was just trying to come up with a creative title. This is really going to be a 3-in-1 review. I'm going to look at the HTC Hero, the 27-inch iMac, the new one, obviously, since there hasn't been a 27-inch before, and Windows 7 pricing. The HTC Hero, responsive keyboard and user interface. There were a few hiccups, but not many. Android and the Sense US UI are really, really nice. The keyboard is spacious, and this is interesting. It's got haptic feedback on it. The apps are easy to use, though I found that many do require a Google account. So if you do not have a Gmail or a Google Talk or Google Docs, you are out of luck. Now, I'm taking this with an absolutely huge grain of salt, but somebody commented that there might be accessibility on the Hero or the Android platform in general by mid-2010. So we'll see what happens. When it does come up, regardless of the date, Hero will be able to take advantage of it. Overall, I gave the Hero a 9 out of 10. So this is the Hero for Sprint. It'll be on Verizon as, I believe it's going to be the HTC Desire Aris. Strange name, but whatever. So that is the Hero. Now on to the iMac. The iMac had a wonderful design. I just loved it. I don't know if they were going for thinner this time around, because I didn't really notice it, because they had the older iMac sitting right next to it. They had a 21-inch, the new one, a 20-inch, a 24-inch, and a 27-inch. The 21 and the 27 being the new, and the 20 and 24 being the old. And I don't know if they were going for thinner there. I didn't see anything. What was interesting about the new iMac was that Snow Leopard ran really well on it. I didn't have any issues with the voiceover. The Magic Mouse will take getting used to because it's a completely different form factor. It's about, I'd say about yay big. And it does run on 2 AA batteries. But what's interesting is that Apple claimed that you can get 4 months of battery life out of this thing. Unfortunately, for those of you on my list who are voiceover users, the rotor gesture does not work on the Magic Mouse. I needed to confirm that. I wasn't able to get the rotor to work yesterday only because I forgot to push the voiceover keys. I did so today on the MacBooks. The rotor worked fine in Safari, rotated through just like it should. On the Mac, on the iMac, unfortunately, it did not take well to the rotor gestures. So I don't know why they're sitting in preferences, because unfortunately they do not work. Actually, I do know why. They're trying to keep everything universal, but yeah. So there is a micro DVI port for external video use. There's an SD card slot below the optical drive. You've got a headphone and microphone out on the back, as 2 separate jacks, and I point that out because on the MacBook it's now one separate jack, one jack for both microphone and headphone, and you need to switch between them. So you get the microphone in and the headphone and the audio out as 2 separate jacks, 4 USB 2.0s, FireWire 800, and Ethernet. Overall, 8 out of 10. And I only say this because of that issue with voiceover that I had. I really wish that they'd allowed for the rotor to work, because if they had in the mouse, that would have made navigation a lot easier. I know why they didn't. It's because of lack of real estate on the mouse because of the size. Yeah, but, you know, it's just something I think would be nice to have. finally, the Windows 7 pricing. $120 for Home Premium, $200 for Professional, and $220 for Ultimate. The funny thing is, actually, I think it was $130 as opposed to my apologies, for Home Premium. What's interesting is that $129 is the exact same price for Home Premium as Leopard was last year. And now, in order to get the full version of Windows 7, which is Windows 7 Ultimate, you have to pay $220, something that for the Mac users you can get for $29. Now, granted, you have to be running Leopard, but at the same time, with 7, you really ought to be running Vista unless you want to do a clean install. The same thing is holding true with Snow Leopard, because if you were to go from Tiger to Snow Leopard, well, I don't know. Actually, now I'm curious. Maybe you could, but at least with Vista, if you do not have Vista, you do need to do a clean install. But that pricing is interesting, considering it's so much more expensive than what Apple are doing with Snow Leopard. I just find that interesting. So, what else did I find interesting today? Just a little wrap up here. Well, I did some practice in VoiceOver, and I now know how to navigate the net. It was rather funny. I was on the Best Buy website in the store. Up pops this dialogue. VoiceOver didn't recognize it, so I went in with the Zoom utilities, zoomed in so I could see it. It was a survey pop-up. The funny thing was, when I zoomed back out and I continued to arrow through with the VoiceOver cursor, which for those of you who can see, it's a little black box that highlights around everything that the voice speaks. So I was navigating around with the VoiceOver cursor, and it was continuing to arrow around. The site that was in the background dimmed on Safari, even though I had a pop-up sitting in front of my face. This was not a separate window either. This was one of those embedded flash pop-up type deals, and VoiceOver just ignored it. I thought that was interesting. Let's see. Anything else? I think that was about it. But the main thing is the main things were the HTC Hero, the new iMacs, and the Windows 7 deal. Oh, every single PC runs Windows 7 now. On the show floor. Every single PC runs Windows 7. And on top of that, some netbooks as well. They run Windows 7 Starter Edition. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, well, that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome. Insults against me will get you blocked. And have a nice day.